So, to all of you, this may seem like a picture of regular cream puffs, but to me, this is my inspiration. Believe it or not, cream puffs are the reason why I'm here today. But to be more exact, Kawaii Cream Puffs, which is a successful business I created myself, is what I'm here to talk about. Now, right off the bat, most people are surprised that a 15-year-old girl could create something as big as a business. But why is that so surprising? So, my business is inspired by two passions of mine. One of them being food. Now, I love food. I am obsessed with it. I am tremendously hungry all the time. But that does not make me special, because I know all of you are too. And so, ever since I was little, I've always loved making it, eating it, obviously, and seeing how it was displayed on a plate. I always loved looking through cookbooks and seeing how food and cakes and desserts were presented. And it was just an art within itself. And speaking of art, that's my second passion. Ever since I was little, I've always loved to draw. I drew on tables, walls, people. I drew on everything. And I was not limited to a two-dimensional canvas. So as I got older, I started to expand my interest in art, and I began painting and even making pottery and jewelry. So one day, I was browsing the internet, and I saw this really adorable ice cream scoop bracelet. And I thought, oh my god, I have to have that. That is beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. This is a necessity. Because if anyone that knows me knows that I'm obsessed with ice cream. It's like happiness condensed. This is like my life here. So then I thought, I need to have this. So I went on the website and I went to try buy it, but then I found out it didn't ship to Hawaii, and I was devastated. Here was this beautiful bracelet right in front of me on my computer screen, and I couldn't have it. But then I thought, wait a second, it's handmade. How did they make this? And I researched it, and I found out it was made of clay. And so then I thought, you know, I'm a crafty person. I could probably make something like this. And so I did. I bought the supplies myself, and I made charms that looked similar to this. Of course, my first creations were horrible looking, but then the more I did it, the better I got. And I could take real pictures such as this and duplicate them into little charms that I made myself. So I could make them look like this, and I also made charms look like that. So I had this new, unique hobby, and the charms just began accumulating because it was just so fun to make. It was like my own little bakery. So then 10th grade rolled around, and I go to a school that's under the International Baccalaureate program, also known as IB. Now, the purpose of IB is to push students above and beyond the normal school standards. And as a requirement of IB, all sophomores are required to do a project called the Personal Project. And the Personal Project is a year-long project where you can create anything. It can be an event, a film, or an invention, as long as it has a rigorous creation process. So then I thought, oh my god, what am I going to do? I don't know what to do for this project. It's a big deal. But then I thought of all the charms accumulating dust in my room, and I thought, I have no use for these. I might as well get rid of them. So I'll just sell them, and I'll make a business out of it. Yeah, that's a good idea. So I did, and I didn't really realize until later on how big of a project I was actually getting myself into. So the first thing I did when I decided my goal was to research. I researched countless amount of articles on how to start a business and all these essentials, and I even interviewed people who are experienced in the field. So after all this research, I found that I could utilize some of my own skills that I already had. And I'm a pretty tech-savvy person. I can use Photoshop, I can make websites. So I made my own business cards and logos and even a website. So from here, I also researched how could I make a profit? Like what is the easiest way to sell handmade trinkets like mine? And I found out that craft shows were pretty easy because people can see the charm and they can play around with it and they know what they're getting from it. Unlike from a website where you're not too sure, you're not really too sure whether it's going to be a reliable product or not when you receive it. So I did do all these craft shows, and oh my gosh, it was the most stressful part because I had to create over 100 charms of stock, and I had to make displays and a banner, and it was really stressful for me, and I was not used to it. But then I got over it, and I just began going with the flow, and at the end of my project, I had this professional business that had won the Windward Mall Kids Inc. contest, the KK Business Expo contest, which is this picture up here, and I've also shipped charms internationally. And so the most important part from this entire experience was that I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I'm actually a pretty good speaker. I mean, I say all these sales pitches all the time, so it's kind of like good practice. So I also learned how to manage my time more wisely and how to be more independent. And also, it's kind of funny just thinking how all of this started from just two simple passions. And the thing about passions is, when you're so wrapped up in it, you can get a little bit obsessive over it. I know I was obsessive over it, because when I was creating stock for craft shows, literally when I came home from school at 3:30, I'd go straight to my desk and make charms until 8 o'clock. And then from 8 to 11, I'd go do my homework. And that'd be every single day. And then on the weekends, I would literally spend my entire days making charms. So I sacrificed a lot of my social life and a lot of other time I could have been doing other stuff besides this. But I was really dedicated, and I really wanted to make this project the best it could be. So my message to you is that anyone's passion, regardless of who they are, can develop with a little hard work. And the thing is, when I first started this, I was afraid of creating something so big. But then I thought of all the adults in the past that have told me, oh, you're just a kid, you can't really do anything. And then I thought, no, I'm going to prove you wrong. And that's my response to that. So with that, I was really happy because I felt on top of the world, because I felt I just did something so much greater than myself. And it was a really rewarding experience. And I just thought that, why is it that us kids are so underestimated? I mean, if you look back in early history, there are these child prodigies, like Michelangelo. He was 13 years old when someone discovered his talent for art and fostered it. Leonardo da Vinci was 14, and people like Mozart was 5 years old when he first began composing music. These people revolutionized their society at such a young age. But yet, we still don't really think about kids being world changers. So, age is obviously not a limiting factor though, and especially now since the internet makes it easy for people to learn things on their own. And I just really want to tell you guys that no matter what, if you have a passion for something, go for it. Don't let others make you doubt yourself, because you never know what's going to sprout from it. And never underestimate the power of youth, because we will surprise you.